Hello, welcome. It's Thursday Q&A Live with me, Phil Morse, here in the Digital DJ Tips studio. It's awesome to be here among friends. I've been moonlighting people. I was over on Serato's Twitch channel a couple of hours ago, doing a bit of a one-off for them, a bit of a free lesson, and it was a bit nerve-wracking. I've got to say, it's nice to be back here among friends in an environment where I know what's what. We were. It always happens, doesn't it? Technical issues. When you're somewhere else doing something new, that's when the technical issues strike. So we had a few issues over there, but we had a good time. Anyway, if you're one of the people who was there, thank you very much for supporting me over there. But this is your hour for digital DJ tips for our community. It's me, Phil, here, just to help you with anything you're stuck on in your DJing and your DJ producing. I'm here to answer questions, to chat. You're here to hopefully chat with each other as well. So wherever you are, YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, Mixcloud Live, do say hello to each other in the comments on your particular platform. Do help each other out. So welcome. Awesome to be here. And lots and lots of you piling in already and saying hello. Mayank, who's our first commenter today, ex-Cozza Aussie down under. So staying up late for this, thank you for that. Hi to Noel in South Wales, to what I'm going to guess is Mixmaster G in the Netherlands there, saying it's warm but overcast. It's actually hot here. It's actually hot here for the first time this year. We've had warm days, we've had sunny days, we've had nice days, but I walked out at lunchtime to go for my lunchtime run around the Rock of Gibraltar and have something to eat, and the heat hit me in the face when I walked out the building. I thought, yes! It's arrived. May the 13th, 2021, it's arrived. With apologies to you down there in Australia, ex-Cozza and everyone else down there. Cameron in the Bahamas, Jimmy, DJ Ginormous, Driver John, Paul, and DJ Skojo69, all our regulars are here. Thank you very much, everyone, for being with us. Beautiful and sunny in New York as well, says DJ Ginormous. Jorge over there in Portugal, as ever, and Sarah in a cloudy Barnsley. Well, you can't have it all, can you? Hello to Lou and Larry, who's got our first question. So remember, this is all about questions. I'm here to help you. The controller we've got in the studio is the Pioneer DDJ-1000 SRT. So I can talk to you about anything to do with that and Pioneer DJ and their kind of gear as well. I can always jump into the lab proper and help you out if there's anything you want to help on in here. Like we've got Serato loaded up here, so we could talk about Serato if you wanted. But really, I'm here for you, depending on what it is you need help with. I'm just here. I'm hanging out with you. I'm here to help. So do ask questions, please. And as I say, the first question is from Larry, who says, can a DDJ XP2 be used with a Denon 1850 mixer and 4 LC500s, 5000s for more control surface options with Virtual DJ? Right, let's break that down. Using Virtual DJ with the new Denon LC6000s, these, are they called 6000s? Yeah, they are. Have me wondering there myself, is easy. These should work with Virtual DJ out the box. So you could easily plug 4 of these into Virtual DJ and it would work. And then having a mixer in the middle of that, like an 1850 Denon, yes, that should work as well with Virtual DJ. So your next question is, could you also plug in a XP2? This is an XP2. It's a Serato and record box labeled button box, basically. Loads of pads on it to control stuff. And you're saying, could this work with Virtual DJ as part of that system? So this will be mappable to Virtual DJ for sure. Whether Virtual DJ actually has a mapping for it already is something that I don't know, but I guess they probably have. So yes, off the without testing it, 4 of the Denon controllers, plus a mixer with an audio interface in it, plus something for your button controller there, should work, and probably be a brilliant thing with Virtual DJ. It would definitely work. What we just described would definitely work with Serato. I know that. With Virtual DJ though, 99% sure on that one. So well, I'd love to know how that setup goes as you're getting it together. Do let us know, Larry, if you decide to go with that. Hello to Jason, who just got the EverMix Box 4. The question is, can you do live streams with it, or is it just for recording? The EverMix Box 4 is a audio interface designed to get your audio from your DJ gear into mainly your phone or an iPad or something like that. Some Android phones it works with. It can also get it into a Mac. And I'm sure with the right lead, it would get the audio into a Windows computer as well. But your question is, can I use it for live streaming, or is it just for recording mixes? It's definitely for anything. All it does is digitize the audio you put into it, turns it into something your computer can understand. In other words, it's an audio interface. It's packaged in a nice way with an app and everything, but essentially it's an audio interface. And yes, you could use it for live streaming just as easily as you use it for recording. So I hope that's helpful for you, Jason, and thank you for your support over the months and years. We do appreciate it. DJ Fuzz says, hi Phil, it's great to be here today, especially because I have a couple of questions I hope you get to. Well, get them out quickly, please, DJ Fuzz, because we never get to the end of this list. So yeah, ask your questions quickly and we'll try and get to at least one of them for you. Hello to Martin. Hello to Rohan in India, and to Tim, and to Daddy Doe in Atlanta. Driver John says, thank you for the tip you gave us about learning to use our DJ software first. I've learned so much from reading my tractor manual, and I'm only a quarter of a way through it. I can't wait to use it. Well, that's really cool. I mean, the tractor manual is an incredibly large document. There was even a book called the Tractor Bible that was written once just to help people to get to grips with tractor. It is a massive program. But if anyone is interested, we have a course on tractor and it is called the Tractor Made Easy course. So if you really just get stuck and need some extra help, the Tractor Made Easy course with Steve Canuetto is a great way to figure out everything that goes on in your tractor software, and maybe some things that you didn't even know it could do. It's all in there. So there's a little plug for one of the courses there. But I'm glad you're enjoying Tractor, Driver John. Shane is pointing out that it's now the beginning of winter in South Africa. I know it well, Shane, because on June the 21st, several years ago now, I got married with my new wife. We jumped on a plane and came to South Africa. We had a lovely time, but yes, it is the beginning of winter, we know. Jimmy says, hey Phil, can you ever do a show on the DDJ-1000 Not too many videos on this controller. No, because we haven't got one. It's that huge controller from several years back now from Pioneer DJ. But unfortunately, Jimmy, we don't have one in the office, and that means we can't do a show on it. So sorry about that. I'm not even sure they make it anymore. They might do, but I'm not sure. Jockey says, hi there. I'm thinking of moving from my Newmark Party Mix to a Newmark NV2 or an or a 6.2 if I find one. My question is, I feel it's ready to play professionally everywhere and on 4 decks. NS62, sorry, yeah. Yeah, I mean, they're both not made anymore. I would say if you want to play on 4 decks with Serato, the best controller to go for is the one we've got here, frankly, which is, let's zoom out from that a little bit so you can see it a little bit better. It's the Pioneer DJ. There it is, the Pioneer DJ 1000 SRT. So it's the Serato version of it. It's a very popular DDJ-1000 controller. It's probably one of the best for Serato. If not, then certainly something like the Roland 707M might be good to give you all those decks. The older Serato controllers are great, but as you say, if you can find them, they're not available in many places nowadays. So it's apparently wet in Somerset. We were thinking about Somerset the other day because you've got Glastonbury coming up, haven't you? Or rather the scaled down Glastonbury in September, Si. Will you be going to that? Let us know. Lou, do you have to go through YouTube in order to stream with Zoom? No idea what you're asking there. Zoom and YouTube are totally separate. So no. No is the short answer to that, Lou, but maybe help me with what you're asking. Best controller for DJ Pro? Well, a good one for DJ Pro is the little Reloop Buddy. It's got control over the neural mix functions on the knobs and pads here, but really it works with so many controllers, DJ Pro. It's mapped really well with lots and lots and lots of them. So just go to the Algorithm website and have a look at the controllers they've listed there, and anything that's listed on the website, I'm just trying to find it for you now, anything that's listed on the website will work fine with DJ Pro. So here's the DJ Gear page, and you can scroll down and see all the devices here that they recommend to use with their software, and there's lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of them, so you won't be stuck here. And here's the full list depending upon what platform you're on. As you can see, there are literally scores and scores of controllers that you can use with it. So the best one really the one you can afford that you like the look of, because if it's on that list, it will be mapped fine to DJ Pro. The next question live is DJ Scojo. We only talked about that a few days ago over on Twitch. I would set your expectations, DJ Scojo, within the next year or two. Not within the next day or two for us to produce a course on DMX lighting, but it is something that's on our list. Hello, Dr. Karen. DJ Fuzz, the first question from you, having preempted them, says, how can you set the Prime Go default play order for playlists? At present, it always forgets when I move to a new playlist. I want to sort by BPM. Tell Denon DJ, because it's something that really annoys the hell out of me as well. And also, even worse, on Denon DJ's engine system, if you're going through a playlist and it's set to say BPM order and you move a track to another playlist, when you come back to that playlist, it's gone back to default and it's lost your place. And I find it massively frustrating. So tell them, DJ Fuzz, and hopefully they'll change it, because the truth is you can't. Hi Phil, my iRig stream in Windows sometimes has choppy audio, but on my choppy audio, but on my MacBook it's fine. Do you know why? Says DJ Echo. I don't, DJ Echo. I can't help you with that one, I'm afraid. We do have a Windows system here, but I'm just not expert enough to help you. However, DJ Echo is on YouTube, so if anyone's got a bit of advice as to why an audio interface might be choppy on a Windows computer, please help over there. Noel, what microphone would you recommend for live or recorded streams, either video or recorded mixes? I use a DDJ-1000 controller. I can't see past the Shure SM58. It's the microphone I've always used. You know, buy one of these and it will be yours forever because it won't break. So for me, it's always a Shure SM58. They're not the cheapest, but it won't fail you. So you can find out more about that over on the Shure website. Shure.com, and there is the SM58 microphone. Not, as I say, not the cheapest, but you'll only ever buy it once. Do I need to delete my history in Serato DJ Pro? No. What's up, peeps? Hello, the Ruckus. Clovey says, does Virtual DJ work with the record box version of the DDJ-1000? Yes, it does. Stu, what's the best record pool for top quality radio edits about 3 minutes long? Take a look at DJ City and BPM Supreme. Dennis, hi Phil, what do you think about the news from Denon? I think it's time for a DJ sampler from Denon. What news is this? What have I missed? Tell me, Dennis. I don't know about the news from Denon because I haven't heard any. I'd love to know what you've heard. DJ Dr. Clara is in the rainy Netherlands. Where's the other guy who always gets the Netherlands good weather and I get the crap one? I don't know. Anyway, welcome DJ Dr. Clara over there on Twitch. Hello again to you, John. So the next live question is from, I always say hello to our people in Australia just because you're up so late. I love it. Thank you. Next question is from Sarah, sorry. Would you recommend buying a 15-key Elgato stream key? So for those of you that don't know what an Elgato stream key is, I can't actually show you that one because it won't let me pull it out far enough. See if this one will let me pull it out far enough. It's craziness. Craziness, I tell you. No, it won't. I can't even show you what one is. Hang on, let me just see if I'm going to upset anything. That is an Elgato stream key. So what this does, this is good for live streaming. Well, what this does is gives you a key for all the different views you've got in your live stream. And it could just be different zooms on one camera. It's a really easy way of switching between scenes. And the nice thing about it is you can probably see, you actually get little pictures. So this is the one we're currently on. It's a little picture of me. This one here is the front camera and the little picture of the front camera. There's the front camera. This one here is off, it's blue, you can see it's blue, and that's going to give us a blue screen because the camera that's connected to isn't turned on at the moment. Whereas this one here, you probably can't see this very well, but I can, is that view there I was showing you, and so on and so on. You can even drop in things like, hey, try Digital DJ Lab, there's the, I'll tell you about that in a bit, and stuff like that. So it's a really nice little device if I better get back to the screen that you can see me talking on. It's a very nice little device if you live stream a lot and you want something where you can see the picture of what you're about to click on before you click on it. Because what happens is, you know, you can use shortcut keys. All DJ, all OBS and all software has shortcut keys. But the trouble is you can't see what you're going to do. You can't see what's going to happen if you press the key. And in the heat of the moment, you might press the wrong key and end up turning your broadcast off or something crazy like that. So yeah, I totally recommend them. They're great. We've got two. We've got one I'm looking at here and one there. Guys and girls, I'm just going to I'm just going to jump over here, but I'm going to walk all the way to the front. You don't normally see me doing this, do you? And the reason is I'm going to turn the air conditioning off, because for the first time this year, I wasn't lying when I told you that it's finally got hot in this studio, or rather out there. So I turned the aircon on, and God, I think it's the aircon's enjoyed being on again, because it's working extremely well. And I was quite literally, right, no, not literally at all, but I was freezing. Hey, I saw your Serato vid, says the Ruckus, always putting out that knowledge. Oh, I'm glad you joined us over there. And hi to someone over in our Facebook group who's in Oakland. I got the book called DJing for Dummies, said Mason. Brilliant, thanks, Phil. Well, DJing for Dummies is this book here. And you might say, but Phil, you have your own book on DJing. Why are you even owning DJing for Dummies? And the reason is that, look, there's me. I actually helped my friend John with this book, John Stevenson, who made this book. I was the person who checked everything in it was factually correct, and that he'd got everything right, and helped him to improve it a bit. DJing for Dummies is a great book. It's out of date now, but it is a great book on how to DJ. But I would recommend our book as well, mainly because our book is free. Yes, it's free. If you join Digital DJ Tips, I'll give you a copy of this book. You can go to that URL there, djtips.co, not .com, djtips.co /join, and I will give you a copy of this book just for becoming our latest member. So another reason to get that one as well as John's. John's is a great book, and I've always had love for that one for obvious reasons. Virtual DJ 2021, thoughts and opinions, says David. Yeah, it's got some awesome new stuff in it, Virtual DJ. We wrote it up on the website, but they really have upped their game. You can even export your music now from Virtual DJ to play on a Pioneer DJ system, which is pretty damn cool. So yeah, it's great. DJ Ginormous is doubling down on what I said. The Elgato 15 is great. And as a DJ, I can't imagine you'd need any more buttons than that. As a broadcaster, you can get away with 15, frankly. Xcosa says, I use Recordbox to sort and cue point my music, and then I export an XML to import it into Engine. Then I transfer to my Prime 4 internal SSD. But when I go to load some songs, my Prime 4 crashes and reboots. So you're stuck there. I would say the thing to do is use DJ conversion utility from our friend Mixmaster G. DJ conversion utility is just a better way of moving your music around that will probably result in not having those problems. But the best bit is if you buy it, Mixmaster G will help you. So if you get any problems with using his software and it still crashes and stuff, he'll be there to find a solution. Very generous contributor to the DJ community is that man. So if you don't know anything about DJ conversion utility and you want to know where to find out about it and get it even, just head over to this page here, DJ conversion utility. It's only 1950. Oh, that's the wrong page. There you go. It's only 1950 euros and equivalent in dollars. And you can read all about it on this page here. And there's lots of links and stuff to find out what it does and what it doesn't do. And I just got to this page, by the way, by going to Google and typing DJCU in the top, DJCU, and that will get you to the conversion utility. So go have a look at that. That's what I would do rather than trying to do it all manually. Xcosa AU. Is the CDJ Tour one worth it? No, simply no. So what are your tips on getting into turntablism? Well, you're going to need a turntable, but you don't need more than one, not to start with. You can have a loop playing on your phone or something through a mixer and just have one turntable and be using that. My tips are practice the first hand before you practice the second hand. So practice the scratch movements before you try to add the crossfader movements in, and watch very carefully when DJs do it, because it's not this. I'm trying to get both hands in here. It's not this. It's this, and if you don't get that right, it's like rubbing your tummy and tapping your head. If you don't get that right, you'll never sound good. And of course, we've got a course for scratching, so if you're interested in really going for it, our Scratching for Controller DJs course is the one, because in that course you'll get taught by a professional scratch DJ. So head over to the Digital DJ Tips website, click on courses at the top of the page, and then scroll down to the scratch course, Scratching for Controller DJs, and learn all about how we can help you to learn to scratch from beginner to expert. Hope that helps you. Hello to Fuat in Istanbul, over there in Turkey, loving the Turkish flags there. Question 2 from DJ Fuzz. Is there a simpler way to use the Prime Go sync buttons? I have to press the sync button once on each deck to get them to match, and then once again to switch them off. That's 4 button presses. Just trying to understand your question there. Just leave sync turned on. Just don't turn it off, leave it on. Don't think it gets much simpler than that, honestly, DJ Fuzz. Yeah, all sync buttons work like that. I can't think of any simpler way of using them. Kyle, staying out of bed over there in Australia, just wondering if DJs that have controllers that cost thousands of dollars actually use all the functions. You know, the functions on here are pretty extreme. You've got 9 pad functions on here: cue loop, save loop, slicer loop, pitch play, sampler, slicer, roll, hot cue. You've got 4 channels. One thing that I was told by someone at a very big DJ hardware company is that most of the controllers that they sell have got 4 channels, but their own research says that 80% of DJs only use 2. Then you've got all these effects here, 20 odd effects here. You've got the effects here as well. You've got pretty extensive looping functions. And so do DJs use all of these? Do they, heck? They don't use any of it. DJs, even at the top of their game, use generally 2 channels, then they'll use 2 or 3 effects, and they might use looping. Now, I'm not saying the other stuff isn't fun. I'm not saying you can't use the other stuff. And personally, the one that I've added to those is key. I've added using key all the time, key mixing and key shifting and stuff. But DJs at the very top of their game will use what I just described: loops, 1 or 2 effects at most, maybe filter, maybe they have a favorite echo or a favorite reverb effect. And they might use some others, but not generally. Some DJs like to use a 3rd deck, but very rarely more than that. The 3rd deck is often just a utility deck for a loop or an a cappella or something. You know, you shouldn't be seduced by the gear thinking you need all that stuff, because most DJs don't use, as you've quite rightfully guessed, Kyle, hardly any of it. It's the truth. Next question is for, it's just a comment from the Rockers, who says the 1000 SRT, which is the unit we've got here now, is great for Serato users that want a club feel, but if you want a Serato feel, not so much. And that's very true. It's because it hasn't got control over Serato's effects, mainly. So if you want control over Serato's effects, you're going to be looking elsewhere. But most DJs are going down that club feel path at the moment. So someone on Facebook has got a really big comment, but we'll give it a go. I just made my massive upgrade to a DDJ-1000 SRT, and I've got 2 questions. Can you inactivate the touch feel on the jog wheels so the record stops directly as soon as you touch it? I find it difficult getting used to scratching on it. I'm always making mistakes because of my light touch. And how do I increase the beat jump on the beat jump buttons? Right, so off the top of my head, I can, in fact, I can tell you the answer to both of these things. Right, okay, so let's have a look at the controller. Sorry, I haven't got a closer zoom. Our overhead camera is in for repair at the moment. So your first question was, how do you turn off the scratch function on here so that it doesn't, when you touch the top of the jog wheel, it doesn't accidentally, you know, stop going. And I always thought there was a way of doing that, but now I'm looking at the controller, I can't actually see one. I can't actually see a way of setting it into what's called CDJ mode. And I now can see a way. I knew there was a way. I always forget these things. It's too many controllers. You hold down the shift button and you press the slip button up here, and that will turn vinyl mode on or off. Hold down shift and press slip button, and then that means that you'll end up there with the whole jog wheel controlling the nudge function. That is what you're looking for. And the second one, how do I increase the beat jump on the beat jump buttons? So this is a Serato function, and you need to have beat jump turned on to start with. It looks, by the look of it, I haven't got it turned on here. So let's have a look. Show beat jump controls in the settings. And then you have your beat jump controls down here. And this will alter this is actually doing your beat jumping, but the amount it's jumping by is determined by where your looping is set. Sorry, where your where your looping is set. So now it will jump. My beat jump will jump. Have that looping set to 6. Actually, I think it's a separate one down here. I'm just trying to remember now. That's jumping. Yeah, it's here. It's here. That's my beat jump. That's now jumping 8 bars at a time by adjusting these here. So when you turn beat jump on, you get these extra. They look like loop functions, but they're actually beat jump functions here. Sorry if you can't see that because it's not zoomed in enough. I don't have a zoom on the live camera here. So the top settings here, when you've got that beat jump function on, are your looping, how big your loop is, and the bottom ones are the beat jumps. And you can control it on the screen. You can't control that from the hardware itself. So glad to have helped you. And thank you for asking a question about the controller we had set up, Facebook user. People, this is Thursday Q&A Live with me, Phil Morse, here at Digital DJ Tips. We are literally live, so I'm answering all your questions on Twitch, YouTube, Facebook. So wherever you are, ask questions. I'll get to as many of them as I can. If you're enjoying this, please do hit the share button. That's really important to us. It helps keep the business healthy and keeps food on everyone's plate, so to speak. So please do hit share if you're enjoying this. And if you are watching the replay for any reason, especially on YouTube, look, subscribe to the channel and click the bell. That will allow us to notify you when we go live, so you can join us and join in the fun. So wherever you are, subscribe to the channel and do what you got to do to be notified when we go live. We'd appreciate that. So I've got one thing to tell you about. Now we've hit the halfway point. I'll tell you about it now, and I'll, if I remember, tell you about it again at the end. And this is some quite exciting news because we have just done something that we don't do very often. So I'm just trying to get the Digital DJ Tips website up to show you this. We have, and you'll see if you go to Digital DJ Tips and scroll down, we've now put the world's best DJ and mixing training program on a special trial for 1 month. For a month, you can try what we call Digital DJ Lab for just $1. So go to the Digital DJ Tips website and have a look at this. There's a video for you to watch and we tell you all about it. But to summarize, it's a subscription program for DJs who want to stay up to date with what's going on in DJing. It's got 87 Pro Mix deconstructions in it. It's got 40 deep dive action plans with us teaching you things that aren't in any of our courses. And you get access to a private inside track virtual workshop session where I personally talk you through big DJ issues of the day, and you get handouts you can take away from that kind of thing. And you also get access to, if you join the Pro version of this, which we'll tell you about when you come for a $1 trial, access to a small group coaching session with me. This is our best training. This is for people who've taken DJ courses or are very serious about their DJing and want to stay up to date. And you can try this for $1, which is awesome because you get a whole month to decide if you want to stay a member of it. So if you want to know more about that, either go to the Digital DJ Tips website and click on that big advert, or just go to djtips.co, djtips.co/try lab. It's on a $1 1-month trial at the moment, but it won't be for very long, and we don't do this very often. So this is an opportunity to dive into some of the best training that we made, and none of the training in there is available anywhere else. So cool, I wanted to tell you about that in case it is of interest. And the next question is from Steve, who says, I'm curious as to when the Pioneer DJ DDJ-1000 will become compatible with Serato, and I'm not sure if it is yet or not. Probably not, or you wouldn't be asking. I don't think it will take a massive amount of time, but there's always a lag on these things, unfortunately. DJ Respect says, Mixed in Key has got a few bugs when you try to use the XML for Recordbox. You're not the only one, DJ Respect, and I would, sorry, DJ Respect Africa, and I would say the best thing to do is go over to their support and tell them, because they will have heard this a lot of times. We've sent a lot of people over there with this problem, so head over to their support and tell them, and hopefully they will roll out a fix quite quickly for that. Just a plea, really, people, don't cut and paste your questions more than once. I will actively ignore people I see doing that. It just clogs up my question feed. So Mac Warrior says, you have Serato versus Recordbox. Can you use any DMX interface with it? DMX is nothing to do with your DJ software, so yes, you can use DMX with any DJ gear. Christian says, if I buy a controller that's officially compatible with Virtual DJ, should I still need to pay for a license? Yes, you do. Just because it's compatible with Virtual DJ, it doesn't mean that the software comes in the box. I can't think of any controllers where Virtual DJ actually comes in the box. At the moment, I think although they make it work with everything, there's none that are officially kind of like bundled with a license. My main man, Jason Janai, welcome over there on Twitch. Where else? Jason is one of the, if not the most popular and famous wedding DJ in the United States. He's made an awesome DJ course with us, or a DJ training program with us, which is currently not available, but will be again when event DJing picks up. And Jason is in New Jersey. Jason, it's a pleasure to see you on the stream. I hope you are well, my friend. Can anyone recommend any graphic designers on the Fiverr website? Good question, Driver John. Driver John's on YouTube. So if you've found a good graphic designer over on the Fiverr website, of course this stuff is often very subjective, go tell John. Fiverr is a great website which will let you get artwork done, all kinds of things. You get voiceover work and all kinds of stuff, DJ drops, and it's like an online marketplace, and you can get some stuff, really good stuff for very little money over there. So I do recommend having a look, fiverr.com with an extra R on the end of Fiverr. So our next comment is from Lyndon Loke, also over there on Twitch, saying absolutely the SM58 from Shure is the best microphone. You know, I've heard people saying there are better handheld microphones and stuff, but for me, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I've had Shure microphones all my DJing life. So apparently they're on special offer sometimes on Sweetwater if you're in the States. So there you go. There's a place to get them. Hello, my man Michael. Michael is one of our most loyal and most generous students. He's gone from student to teacher, really. And you'll know Michael if you're ever in our Student Hub Facebook group. And if you're not, why not? Well, you might not be a Digital DJ Tips student. One of the benefits of being a Digital DJ Tips student is something that we call Student Hub. It's a private group which has got several thousand of our students, past, present, and you, future, if you choose to join us. And it's an awesome place to hang out. It's just the most inclusive, encouraging, friendly DJ group on the planet. So if you join any of our DJ courses, you get invited to that for life currently. So cool. I use OBS to only record, and when I play back I get choppy or skipping audio, says DJ Echo. It will always, nearly always, be down to the amount of power available in your computer. That one, DJ Echo. I mean, it could be something else, but generally you'll find that your computer's not coping and something's got to give. So that's where I would start to investigate. Maybe just try downing the size of your resolution, your recording resolution, and that, you might find that just fix it. Or launch the activity monitor on your computer and see if your CPU is being pushed a bit too far. Right, so a question from Facebook. This is from Duncan, who says, can I plug powered speakers into my tractor controller? I've got Behringer 20-watt monitor speakers, but I need louder without breaking the bank. Yes, controllers are designed for you to plug powered speakers into them. That's how they work. So any powered speakers will work fine. Kevin's giving a thumbs up for the Elgato Stream Deck that we've been talking about. I'm trying to get it in camera there. Can't really do so. Saying they're great. I agree, they're great. We love them. So do you think Serato will be overtaken by Rekordbox as far as user base is concerned? Says the Fuba, who is obviously a Serato lover over there on Twitch, because you've got the Serato logo. Is that good? They're neck and neck at the moment. I think, yes, I think Rekordbox probably will overtake Serato. I think we're talking, you know, a decade or two before there's a winner, if there ever is a winner in the DJ world, because there's so many very happy users of all DJ software that, you know, vive la différence, as the French say. But yes, I think Rekordbox will overtake Serato because it's been slowly catching up, and it has caught up. Dennis says no, there was no news about Denon. I'm just saying that they should bring out a sampler. Sampler? I went all southern then. A sampler, as we say. Mike says, shout out to you, Phil. I just started 5 months ago with the Prime Go after hearing your in-depth tutorial. And after doing the complete DJ course, you sent me on the right path. I'm pleased. Thank you. Thank you, Mike. Mike has taken our complete DJ course and is now feeling that he's on the right DJing path, and that's what I want to hear. Luke, I'm looking to upgrade from DDJ-RR to XR2, RX2. Should I be worried about a newer version of the RX2? I think they will release something new quite soon, personally, Luke, so maybe hold on for that. I can't promise you, but I do think that's something that's likely to happen. Robert says, I've got that book. Which one, Robert? DJing for Dummies, or which I was the editor on, or Rock the Dance Floor, which I wrote. I like a DJ book. I've always been into books. Devon said I had that book. Do Barnes and Noble still sell your book? Yeah, they do. If they haven't got it in stock, they can definitely order it for you. The book is available also on audiobook, also on Kindle, and on Apple's version of Kindle, whatever it's called, iBooks. And also, in fact, you can now get the book on the website. Let me show you how to do this if you've never realized this. Head over to the Digital DJ Tips website, and at the top of the website, there's the book, right? You see that? You click on that, and here you can read the Digital DJ Tips book online. It's exactly the same book that you can buy in bookstores. So when you click into things, you're getting all the same chapters, but with a twist. And the twist is that if there are embedded videos and stuff, you can actually now have the videos in the book, and you don't have to click out from the book, which is what you had to do in the past. Obviously, you had to type in something. But now on this version, a third of our 5 videos demonstrated. There's me chatting away. No beard. And from here you can also join Digital DJ Tips and get a PDF of the book as well if that's what you want. So lots and lots and lots of ways of reading our book. We do want to get that info far and wide. So thank you everyone say that they've got the book. Awesome. Whichever one it is, I don't care. So Mac Warrior, do you have a Serato versus Record Box review? Yes, we have got a Serato versus Record Box review. Let me show you how to find that. Head over to the Digital DJ Tips website, go to the top, click on the search, Serato versus Record Box, and then the first thing that comes up will be our Serato versus Record Box head-to-head, which is here, and there Joe will help you out telling you the difference between those two things, those two pieces of software. So Steve says, hi Phil, hope everyone's having a good day. I just got myself the Serato Flip expansion pack and I've been watching tutorials on how to use it, but I'm still struggling. I just wondered if anyone uses it, and if so, how is the best way to make it work? So again, we've got stuff on Serato Flip. Go search the website. Stick with it. It really isn't hard. I know you're not getting it just yet, but when you do, you'll wonder why you ever found it so hard. So stick with it. So Anthony's saying the choppy audio could be a driver problem with the interface. Yeah, it could be. It's very hard to diagnose computer problems, of course, when you haven't got the computer in front of you. AA says, hey Phil, do you think people with Traktor can have the same creative mixing maneuvers as people using CDJs? Yeah, Traktor's got more on it than CDJs. Don't worry about that. You might have to do it in a slightly different way, but yeah, it's all good. Mini Kangi says Pioneer XDJ-XZ or Denon DJ Prime 4. If you're not bothered about Pioneer gear, you don't want to play in clubs and stuff, you're happy to use whatever you want to use, the Prime 4 is better. If you want something that just looks and feels like club gear but also has streaming built in, sorry, not streaming, also has standalone DJ stuff built in, go for the XDJ-XZ. It's a great device. Phil, says Gerald, how do I use the video software in Serato? Are you going to do a supplementary course for video use? So no, we're not going to do a supplementary course for video use for Serato, but using the video software is reasonably easy, and Serato do have some good tutorials of it over on their own website. If there's any particular question you want to ask, and if you're an owner in the Serato course, just ask in the course and we'll help you with any particular questions. But no, we're not going to make some training for it because it's just such a small number of people who use it. Is mixed in key worth the money? If you want to get really into key mixing, yes. If not, just stick with the key mixing software in the key mixing features in your software. So Martin in Wales, I saw Bark getting slated on the Facebook group the other day. Do you have any thoughts or recommendations on an alternative? As I don't know what Bark is, the answer to that is no. I've got no idea what Bark is. I've just Googled it and I found a like a Craigslist style thing. What is it? Tell me and I'll give you my opinion. Crystal says, what do you think of the Pioneer DDJ-SX3? Yeah, it's a great controller, and we were talking earlier about, you know, this controller here doesn't have the best control over Serato's effects and so on. That one does. So if you just want a controller that's awesome for Serato, the DDJ-SX3 is a good choice. I'm not sure if Serato still make it. I think they do. DJ Ginormous, I see a ton of DJs spinning over on Twitch, and they seem to be able to get away with playing anything. Is Twitch a little bit less strict on copyright? Twitch will not turn your stream off, whatever you play, but it will mute it or stop it on the replay. So just turn off the record bit and the play again bit in Twitch, and then you can basically do what you want. Are the clubs starting to open up again in your area? Not here, although they could. Gibraltar, let me tell you about Gibraltar. Gibraltar is about 34,000 people, and there's an international border about 500 yards that way. We are 1 mile by 2 miles. We are a city-state. We are not a country. We have our own parliament, we have our own police force, we have our own TV and radio and everything, telephone numbers, but we are tiny. And we have got no COVID. It's gone. There's no cases in Gibraltar. I haven't been for weeks, months, because we're all vaccinated. So we could open our clubs if we wanted to, but we've only got one club. And it's closed. They closed it for a refurb just before COVID. I mean, good timing, right? And I was actually chatting to the architect, because the architect is over the corridor here. Gibraltar's a very small place, over the corridor here in the World Trade Center. And I was chatting to the architect literally yesterday morning when I came into work. I bumped into him, and he said, you know, everything's up in the air now. Do we turn it into a club? Do we turn it into a social space? Do we, you know, what do we do? We're not sure, so we're holding off. So clubs could be open here, but they're not, because there's only one and it's closed for a refurb. And that's the truth, Jimmy. Over the border in Spain, which is our kind of country that we're attached to, they're starting to open up things now. They're literally just starting to. And it's good to see it. It's good to see people being able to get out again now. Pioneer S9 or Reloop Elite for a turntable mixer. I can't give you the answer to that. They're both great. Just go for what you prefer. The Reloop Elite hasn't got the paddles, Pioneer has, so if you want paddles, there's your answer. Yeah, you've got to just go with what you like there. They're both great. So JP Lacey says, definitely pick up the scratching course. This was to our person who wanted to learn scratching. It's the best out there, and it's very well taught. So thank you for the thumbs up there, JP Lacey. It's very, very popular. So Sai says, hang on Phil, rewind. Did you say that if you can pat your head and rub your tummy, you can mix? No, I said if you pat your head and rub your tummy, you know what people get wrong when they're scratching. If you can do this, then you've got what it takes to scratch. Because if you end up doing that, that's the same as when you're scratching doing this, which is what most people do. They grab their crossfader, they grab their vinyl, and they do it at the same time. You have to do one, then the other, one, then the other, one, then the other, one, then the other. And all the patterns are built on being able to control your hands individually. So that's what I was trying to tell you. It's an individual hand control thing. So my mic dipped apparently. No idea why, but hey, I'm sure it's back now. I can see it's back now. What are the advantages of the Tractor Control S8? Or what kind of DJ is it for? So the Tractor Control S8 is a DJ controller that isn't made anymore from Tractor. I've got it on the music store here. I'll show you. It's a terrible picture of it. My Google Images has stopped working, so I can't easily show you Google Images. This is it, the Tractor Control S8. Native Instruments decided that they wanted to change DJing and get rid of jog wheels and bring in remix decks and stems and all this kind of stuff, but it failed. DJing is done on things that spin, and so they stopped making their S5 and S8 controllers, and even they've gone back to jog wheel controllers and platters. So the S8 was for people who really don't ever want to use platters to control their music and want buttons, but it was just too complicated and didn't catch on. So it's not really for any kind of DJ, to be honest. Atom Fox, those who honestly say they prefer it to other gear are very few. So yeah, that's my answer. Robert, my mate's having troubles buying the SC6000s. I just showed you one a minute ago. Has the worldwide computer chip shortage slowed down production? It could well have done. You know, COVID has slowed down a lot of things. I think that's the issue here. I certainly get, you know, off the record DJ companies saying, you know, our next releases might be a little bit later than we said before because, you know, we've got logistics issues. Again, funnily enough, the architect dude I was talking to over the corridor was telling me that stuff that they used to be able to get in 4 days, so now it's taking 4 months, or there's no timeline on it. And I think it's all supply chains, not just computer chips. All supply chains are suffering at the moment. Do you think Apple, says James, will ever bite the bullet and let devices access tunes that you have in your Apple Music subscription and not just your iTunes purchases, similar to Beatport Link? So this is the fact that if you're an Apple Music subscriber, you can't play that music in DJ software. I would love Apple to do that. You know, Apple are always pushing DJ software. They know it's cool, so they're always pushing it on their keynotes and stuff. And yet you can't play Apple Music in DJ software. It's crazy. But I have no word at all as to whether that will come. You know, DJs must be like 1% or 0.5% of their Apple Music subscribers, I would guess. So we're just not important to them, unfortunately. We're cool. We're cool to put on the screen behind them at keynotes, but not to stream music into. The Ruckus is saying, I don't think any DJ uses every feature, even on controllers like the 400 or the SB3. I agree with you, the Ruckus. 4 channels, I've never needed them, says Robert. So there we go. Lots of people agreeing with me that people really don't use an awful lot of the features on their gear. So Shreyas in London, what kind of turntables do they have in clubs? I was thinking of getting the Pioneer PLX 1000s with phase. Clubs will have Technics probably. They might have the Pioneers, they might have reloops, or none at all. They just have CDJs, but if they have got turntables, they'll be one of those and they'll be perfectly good. It doesn't really matter what turntable you get at that price point, they're all pretty similar. So yeah, the LC 6000s with phase would be a great setup, James. Hope you enjoy it. Can you advise on programming? Programming music, says someone over on Facebook. I really want to create a journey and I need some help as I end up messing up, going down musical cul-de-sacs and so on. Look, this is a massive, massive topic. I could talk to you for hours about this. I have to tell you that if you really want to know about how to do it, head over to the website, head to our courses, and then go and have a look at the Complete DJ course, because the Complete DJ course has got an awful lot in it about programming music. Not only that, about the other big 5 areas of DJing, which are gear, music, techniques, playing out, which is where we talk about programming, and promoting yourself. But the thing with programming is it depends on your venue and on the people you're playing to. If you're playing a mobile gig, an event gig, it's very, very different type of programming to if you're playing a club night where you've got a beginning, a middle, and an end. And then within the beginning, so let's say the beginning, the middle, and the end. Let's say I'm drawing a graph for you here. Point at the camera. That's the beginning, building up, building up. There's the middle, peak, and then the end going off the camera. Dips a bit. Generally, that's how a club set will be played. But within that set, you've got peaks and troughs. And what those peaks and troughs are is really important if you want to keep rotating the dance floor and keeping everyone happy. And so we talk a lot more about that in the course. Also, if you're playing a mobile event, as I said, it's very, very different indeed. If you're playing a mobile event, you need to play little chunks of music, 10, 15 minutes at most in any individual genre, and then move to another genre. So that the very varied people you've got in the venue get to hear the music they like, and you kind of get everyone into a messy hole by the end of the night. A messy hole with a W, not with an H. So I hope that helps a little bit, but it's very, very big. A very, very big topic. Nice cup, Phil, says Facebook user. All our cups are Digital DJ Tips themed, apart from that one. That one is Gibraltar themed. That is the Gibraltar colours. But all our other cups are Digital DJ Tips themed. So there you go. So I'm glad you're enjoying my cups. So the next live question, we're into the last 10 minutes here, so last chance. I've got a Prime Go. Let's talk about the little Prime Go today. I found that I accidentally will stop the track when the joggles are on vinyl mode. Do you recommend keeping it on or off? 2 questions about the same thing. Just turn it off. Just press the off button if you don't use it. Yeah, no problem with that at all. So Som says, I'm a massive disco nut and a fan of deep soulful house. Any chance you could do a series on mixing with rotary mixers? You don't have to use rotary mixers to mix those genres. It's just what people used at the time and what hipsters use now. Mixing is exactly the same on a rotary mixer to a normal mixer, but you just turn instead of push. So while I agree with you, they're wonderful mixers and they're wonderful music genres as well, I can't see us ever making a tutorial on that. Because they're the same as using normal mixes. Rohan, why do most DJs go with RCA cables instead of digital? Just out of habit. If you've got digital, use it, it's better. Bomberbank 5, good to hear you saying that a lot of the bells and whistles are more for fun than using in anger. After 20-year hiatus, picking it up again, it was rather concerning for me. Look, I always tell DJs who are starting DJing again on modern gear like this, who are used to record decks and find this kind of gear really intimidating, I always tell them the same thing. Find the functions that you were used to. So if you're used to turntables, it's going to be a start-stop button. It's going to be a way of moving through your track, and it's going to be whatever you had on your mixer. Find those functions and use those only. Get the fun back, start making tapes again, start getting involved, and then start using the other functions, because you don't need them all. The first one I would use is loop. Loop is a game changer, because loop can give you an outro or an intro to a track you didn't have before. And so the first one I would recommend you start using is loop. After that, filter, probably, because filters are now on every channel on mixers. So mixers now have these 4 knobs here, which give you a filter, filters sound awesome. Filters are just a great way of adding something that we didn't have back in the day. So I'd say that loops and filters will be enough. Honestly, they'll be enough. And if you really want to know how everything else works, again, the Complete DJ course is the one, because in this course we go through, it's all about the DJ techniques is a big one here. So let me highlight this while I tell you about it. So we talk about, firstly, the timeless stuff, the stuff that everyone would use, even on record decks. And modern DJs don't really learn this stuff a lot of the time. So this is stuff like music structure, counting and timing, controlling the deck, mixer skills, manual beat mixing. And then we move on to what's on the new systems, like this system I've got here. Right, this is the stuff that you could only do on the new systems. So this would be things like the cues, loops, effects, sync, live remixing, tone play, and that kind of stuff. So you can do the stuff that you see modern DJs do. And then we move on to using all that stuff in a modern context. So how to play different genres and how to play different kinds of venue. So the course, the Complete DJ course, is designed to help you if you're coming back to DJing as much as it's designed to help you if you're a new DJ. Right, so our next live question is someone talking about the SRT again. We always get lots of people talking about the controllers that we get out on the desk. I got it a couple of weeks ago. When I'm doing certain scratches, the track sometimes slips if not enough pressure is applied on the jog wheel. This is an issue for me. Is there a fix for that? No, the fix is to apply more pressure on the jog wheel, unfortunately. There's no sensitivity control on the jog wheels on these, but you'll get used to it, I'm sure. If you really have to press very hard, there might be a problem with it, but you shouldn't, and you should get used to them after a little bit. Dennis, good to see you, my friend. Many of us who have 4 deck controllers use one channel for an iPod input and one channel for a mic, although you do get better control of the mic using an external audio mixer. Yeah, you know, you don't have to use one of the 4 channels for a mic unless you're a Traktor user, which is something you have to do on Traktor because it's the way it works. You know, there are dedicated microphone channels on these controllers. But yes, having an external input on one of your extra 4 channels is a good idea, but again, there are auxiliary inputs on these controllers, so you can have an auxiliary input separate and a microphone input separate from the 4 channels. So you don't always have to do that. Again, with Traktor, you do. Traktor's wired a little differently. But thank you for that, Dennis, and I hope you're well. My next live comment is from Oisin, who says, if I'm going to go for a CDJ setup, why should I buy 2 CDJs and a DJM Nexus instead of 2 CDJs and an XDJ? It's cheaper and gives me access to 4 decks as well. Well, there is no reason why you shouldn't do that. It's just whether you want the stuff they use in clubs or you want stuff that is separate. I mean, the XDJ's mixer is not exactly the same as a club mixer, but it's pretty damn close, the XDJ XZ or XZ. No, I don't see any big reason at all why you shouldn't do that. It's a great question. Thank you for it. My next question live is from DJ Ginormous, who's just giving you a plea. Please hit the like button. The crew are working hard for us all. Please hit the share button more than the like. The share button's the one that helps us to spread this word far and wide about this. But of course, if you've only got a like button on your platform, then hit that one. Sorry, I was just obviously drifting off there trying to find the next question. Rodek says, why is so little happening on the all-in-one controller front? Are DJs not keen to buy them? On the contrary, things like the Prime 4 is selling really well. The Pioneer XDJ XZ or XZ sells amazingly. But, you know, I don't think we need a new... They're not like phones, controllers. And even phones have got, like, I've had this for years now and it does everything I want it to do. You know, technology doesn't have to move on at a pace. There was a big change from DJing the old way to DJing the new way with computers and USBs and all that stuff, but it's happened now. And Pioneer needs to catch up with Denon a little bit, but apart from that, there's no real reason to update these things. They do everything we could possibly want them to do. So a little bit of help for Lamuma from the Ruckus, just pointing out the jog wheels on the Pioneer gear you do have to apply a bit of pressure because they're mechanical, but you'll get used to it, so thank you for that. I've got a 1987 mix cassette, says Snip King. Where can I send it to be MP3'd? Good question, and I can't help you on that. You could buy a cassette deck and rip it yourself, but I don't know the answer to that. So if anyone does, Snip King is over there on our YouTube page. What's your view on Pioneer teaming up with Tribe XR? It's a full-blown DJ setup in a virtual space. We know the guys at Tribe XR. They're a good team. We nearly worked with them once to make some DJ training. So this is virtual reality for the Oculus goggly things. Virtual reality spectacles, I think they call them. They don't call them spectacles, do they? They don't. Headset. I'm old. So yeah, this is a virtual reality headset and a piece of software called Tribe XR that runs on the Oculus Prime gear. Actually, Pioneer DJ is sending us a VR set so we can give it a go. So I'll tell you what I think about it. But yeah, it looks good, but also why? Why would you use it? You know, why would you use virtual reality Pioneer expensive gear instead of buying a piece of cheaper gear that you can actually use? That's what I'll be telling you when I have a go at it, because I haven't had a go at it, so I can't really judge it. But currently my thinking is why? Let's see if my opinion changes when it comes. Could I use an XDJ? Hello over on Twitch there, DJ Buckers. Could I use a Denon SC5000 and its layer function to be both third and fourth channels on an XDJ XZ? No, you can't. Unfortunately, they only work on certain gear, and the gear from Pioneer DJ isn't it. What do you recommend for the Prime 4 streaming? Lots of choice, but what's the best value? They're all good, depends what you want to do. So this is streaming services built into DJ gear. So the Prime, Engine Prime has it, but also you've got it in Traktor now. It's got Beatport and Beatsource Link as of the latest beta, and Serato, Recordbox and Virtual DJ have got them all. The big ones are Tidal, SoundCloud Go Plus, and Beatport Link and Beatsource Link. They're the music streaming services you can get on most software. Tidal is like if you're a Spotify or an Apple Music user and you want all that music in your DJ software, Tidal is the one. If you are a open format DJ and you want curated playlists and stuff to help you, Beatsource Link is the one. If you're an electronic DJ, Beatport Link is the one. And if you're someone who loves SoundCloud, loves discovering new artists, but also wants some of the goodness of the other stuff, try SoundCloud Go Plus, because that gives you the kind of underground stuff you can't find anywhere else, and it gives you access to a lot of normal, if you like, streaming music as well. They're all worth a try. They all get a free trial. So try them all and see the one that works for you. And finally, it's going to be our last question. It's from Russ. What controller would you suggest for someone who doesn't intend to ever play out professionally? Not trying to break the bank, $1,000 maximum. I just want to do this as a hobby and maybe play in front of my friends in the yard. Right, so I've got some advice for you here. If you head over to the Digital DJ Tips website, you will find 4 best DJ controllers, $500 to $1,000 for 2021 there. We've put this live recently and we talked through our 4 best picks up at this kind of price point. So have a look at these 4 and see if that helps you make your decision, because they're all different. What you can get around your price point is all different, and what you want is going to depend upon some things that I don't know about you. So go and have a look at that article. People, we are done here. Thank you very much. Thank you for all your questions about the Pioneer DDJ-1000 SRT here. I just need to end off with one thing which I want to talk to you about, which is that we have got our Digital DJ Lab program available right now for just $1. Digital DJ Lab, and I'll put the link on the screen so you can go and have a go at it, is an amazing program for DJs who are at the top of their game or serious about this and want to stay there, want to stay at the cutting edge. Digital DJ Lab is a membership program which contains 40 lessons with me and with other Digital DJ Tips tutors, which are not in any of our courses. And the lessons in there are really deep dive and the kind of stuff that will really change your DJing for the better. And it also contains 87 mix deconstructions where we take big mixes from the biggest names in DJing like Carl Cox and Jazzy Jeff and Tiesto and you name them, and we deconstruct them and show you how they're done. By the end of those, you'll be able to do those mixes as well. So that's over 120 lessons, plus you get a lot of other stuff that I haven't got time to tell you about. The point is, it's a subscription program. There's hundreds and hundreds of DJs in there right now enjoying this, but you can try it for 1 month for free as a new user. So head to Digital DJ Tips' short code down there, djtips.co/trylab, and for $1, we'll let you try everything that I've just described, and you can try it for a whole month. And if you don't want to stay, just tell us. So it's really exciting. We don't do this very often, and Lab is an awesome product. It's an awesome thing. As I say, if you've taken a couple of courses, or you're already pretty proficient in your DJing, you don't need to be taught the things that our courses teach, but you do want to stay up with what's going on in DJing today, try Digital DJ Lab. Right, we're done. As always, if you want a copy of the book, you can subscribe by going to djtips.co/join, and you can get a copy of the PDF of this. I've really enjoyed being here with you today. It's my second long live stream of the day, and don't tell anyone else, but these ones are the best. It's always the best with you guys and girls, Digital DJ Tips community. I love guesting on other people's channels, but I love you more. So wherever you are, Twitch, YouTube, or any of our Facebook pages, or indeed over on Mixcloud. And I haven't said hello to the people on Mixcloud at all today. Naughty me, they don't come directly through to us here, so it's quite hard for me to do that. But the people over on Mixcloud, for Fiorenzo and everyone else over there, thank you for joining us. And just left for me to say, get good, get out there, make the moments, and I'll see you again very soon. Until next time, bye-bye. Oh, join me on Sunday. Look at your watch now. Join me on Sunday at that time that your watch says. Everywhere apart from Facebook, I'm going to be live streaming, playing my favourite tunes of the last couple of weeks. So I'd love to see you there. Meanwhile, bye-bye.